All right, everybody. This part gets kind of wiggly with the 303, right? I think my favorite thing about this track are the vocal-like formant-y chord stabs. Love it. All right. Welcome, everybody. Who's in the chat today? We got 3 off. I'm just going to say it like that because that's how it's spelled. What's up, Bug Tank? Asatanko, Acid Bats, Alessandro Braz, Silver Knobs, HMDT. Asatanko, I didn't post the stems yet. I'm sorry. That this week, it's coming. I see your question. Thanks for keeping us on our toes. Martin Crockett, New Drexian, Cosmic J, Errol Lessie, Josh Holiday, Lies Society, Seaglass. Everybody in the place. Let's go. Lucas, welcome. James M. Muswit. I'm sorry. What's up, James? Vilius J Music and Twitch. Thanks for being on Twitch. Roy Strobel, Ketterbosh. I think that's everybody. Josh Holiday. I'll look on my Instagram this week. I'll have something on Instagram. And also, if you join the Discord, we'll post it up there, I think. All right. Matsky, Marceeves 999. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? It's busy already. Hopefully the stream is looking clear. My display here is looking a little stuttery, actually. Anyway, I'm going to look at that, but I should just welcome everybody to another Techno/Today Electro Saturday here on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School in New York City and Berlin, and, of course, online. We have all sorts of courses and classes and things, workshops and master classes in our 343 studio program. We have our Discord that I mentioned earlier. So many, I'm just going to keep raising my voice up higher. So many things that you can get involved with here and be part of our community. Not to mention, of course, these streams that we do every week, sometimes every week on Tuesday with Tetro, but Abe and I Friday and Saturday. We're like the 1-2 punch on 343 TV. And we like to do it. And Abe actually has another stream going on another channel. He's doing on Twitch only. He's doing an Abe. He's doing like live modular performance, basically. It's very cool. Definitely. What's the name of the show? My brain. Anyway, I'd rather focus on what I need to do right now. And while I'm talking to you, let me just go and check what the restream is doing and make sure that the stream is looking all right. Let me know if you see any dropouts or stuttering or anything in that case. Anyway, who else is in here? Hey, Cosmic J. Seaglass says stream's good over here. Very nice. Glad to see. I feel better now. And all right, so what are we going to do today? I'm just deciding now, really. I'm kidding. I thought it would be good to dig up a project that I forgot about, basically. I have something here that I did I worked on a little bit on the stream last year and promptly never looked at again. Just somehow slipped my mind. And it actually sounds pretty cool. So a few different ideas today. One is sort of to take the sketch and start arranging it. And then I know there could be more parts to add. I have a couple of ideas of things to explore. And I recently got the Vital update. They have a new version of Vital, and I haven't used it that much. It's so powerful, so like nerdy synth programmer, sound designer oriented, cool plugin, right? Really, really good synth. So maybe we'll use that. We'll see. And then another thing was this Mace or MACE from TensorPunk, which is like apparently some kind of AI-based sound generation, like sort of percussion and noise generation thing. I'm not even quite sure exactly how it works, but it looks cool. I grabbed it, early access. I guess they're still kind of developing it. They've been putting out regular kind of updates. And I don't know, maybe I already have some drums, but maybe if we think of a couple of weird noises to add or something with that, that would be cool. And, Silver Knobs is bringing up some interesting sort of community ideas here. Let's see. Silver Knob says, we should sometimes do Techno Society Saturday and listen to our tracks and give feedback to each other. Well, I'm all for that. For you guys all to, who are here every week and are watching the show and talking to each other, you can connect otherwise, right? Maybe, you can come to the 343 Labs Discord to hang out and do that, or set up your own thing. Of course, that's a great idea. Definitely into community building here at 343. And actually, Live Society mentioned exactly that. So yeah, thanks. And cool. So I just want to reiterate about, last week we did something a little different with that more housey kind of project, the Psychedelic Research Labs, Keep on Climbing, track from back in the day from the 90s, right? And how it's kind of like it's seeing another new life again this year. And I don't know. So I told everybody I would make the stems available. I apologize for not having done that yet. And as I mentioned, as we were just getting started, I'll post something on my Instagram. So, if you're not following me there, please do that. Just look up Selway Music, and you'll find me. And we'll also do something on the 343 Discord. So that's another place you can check. And I don't know, we can probably also send out a notification here for those of you who are following or subscribed or whatever on YouTube. So yeah, subscribe. Then we can let you know through YouTube. That works too, right? There's so many avenues for information, sending out information nowadays, right? It's almost just too much. And then, okay, enough about that. What we do. I gave you the spiel about 343 Labs, and let's make some music. All right, so again, I'm starting with this sketch. Let's get that Mace plugin out of the way a little bit. Go to our main screen and listen to what we're working with here. I'm gonna take that sequence out there for a second. Got some drums going on. Some of you might even remember this from last year. I was looking at this free Viking synth, which I really like, actually. So the main synth sounds in this are all made with the VK1 Moog-like synthesizer. Good quality sound coming out of this free plugin. Got another counterpoint, call and response, sort of low frequency element that comes in. We've got a little variation with a chord change or a transposition. Silver Knobs is asking where the Discord channel is. There should be a link in the YouTube description here. Just look down. There's a link to find the 343 Labs Discord. And there's probably like an event, like a Selway event channel in there that we'll use. All right. What's this guy doing? Right, that was my first sort of melodic idea for this. Kind of fights a little bit with that other low kind of wah sound. Let's cut that out for a minute. Kind of as I listen to this, I'm thinking about arrangement ideas. And then we have another melodic element coming out of the mono sequencer. Which I I actually changed it a little bit already from last time. It used to do that kind of rising Kraftwerk sort of thing, and now I made more of a arpeggiator sort of melody thing out of it. And I was playing around with turning on and off notes. It's only got the length of the sequence. It's repeating every 3/16. The gate, you know, when you hear a note, right? So if I turn that off, you don't hear any notes. It's doing that dotted eighth repetition, and then sometimes adding that for a variation. If I put in all three notes and we hear the entire sequence, then it does just doing a whole tone scale up. But I think I like this better when I have just the 2/8 notes, the 2/16 notes, I'm sorry, going in there. That's a nice variation as well. So yeah, I've got like 3 easy, interesting, subtle variations of that part just by turning on and off the steps in the sequencer. I can automate that, I think, or record it to audio. This is actually a good question. I'm not sure if I can automate that. Let's look. It doesn't look like it. I've got... Alright, so yeah, there's no way to enable and disable individual gate on. So, the thing to do here is to re-record the MIDI, right? Critique Dart asks, this mono sequencer is a VST or a plugin? Yeah, it's a Max for Live device. So yeah, it works just for live, and it's I think you can download it from Ableton for free, or maybe as part of the suite. Not exactly sure. All right, so that's what we're working with, right? Those are the parts we have. And what I was thinking of was just again, sort of starting out with a rough arrangement with what I've got. I don't have to re-record the MIDI from the output of the sequencer yet. Maybe I'll start to do that when I know where I want it to be, and I can actually record it in real time into the arrangement where I want it. Cool. All right, so what do we do? I mean, we've talked about this before. How do we start? Do I want to just sort of build it up from left to right, from beginning to end? Do I want to do subtractive arranging? Do I want to record it in real time? Also, what do I start with? I mean, this is kind of nice as an intro, right? Although, do I want to add this later as an element? I'm not sure. We just have to experiment and see. Like, is this a nice just intro all by itself, and then we bring in the bass line? Bring in the drums. It's okay. It kind of feels easy, right? I should have been recording this. All right, that was a mistake. See? And then maybe at some point we do this switch to the variation. Could even go back to the other one. Just going back and forth between those would be interesting. And then all right, this is all just me kind of playing around. Maybe next section could break down. Or do I want to go first to the one where it doesn't have the progression? And then we could also just switch to this. I think this one sounds better with the chord change though. Like here. Okay. All right. That might have been a good thing to record in real time, right? Like if you already know, if you're working in a live session view, like what you want to do, this is a really fast way to start arranging, right? It's the fastest, right? It might be daunting though to make those decisions in a you know, if you'll fit. It's like playing live. There's pressure, right? Let's look and see what some of you guys are saying. Oh, absent, I'm sorry, is here. Thank you. Glad you like it. Critique Dar said this reminds me of Orbital. Oh, high praise. I love Orbital, especially the early stuff. And I'm glad it sounds good. Silverknob says it's great in the headphones. Critique Dart asks, you're working on mono from your synths, or do you get your sounds out in stereo and put into mono with the stems? All right, so it depends. That's a good question, sort of. I mean, I'm working with plugins, and most, you know, all live tracks are stereo, right? So whether the sound on the track is stereo or not is another issue. And I usually have panning or stereo effects on everything that needs it, and that it just goes by whether I want it to or not. That's the bass, for example. It is mono. It's, you know, coming straight out of the synth. There's no stereo effect. There's no stereo panning. So it's basically mono. And I did, at one point, I was playing around with Little Altar Boy. That's also still mono, right? There's no difference between the left and right. But then if I put this reverb on it, this is actually adding resonance. The low frequencies are still mono. The signal's still mostly mono, but you can see now there's just a little bit of a difference between left and right. So yeah, no, I don't want to. Why does this keep coming up? I keep hitting the wrong button. Since I updated my Mac OS, I accidentally hit this dictation thing. Don't ask again. Thank you. All right. So yeah, it really, again, it just depends. So, and this particular synth plugin is a mono output, but then I've got a stereo chorus after it, right? Okay. Absent asks, what's up with the visual? Funny you asked. I've used it before, but I didn't really talk about it. This is another thing that I used last year that I forgot about. It's actually this Mini-Meters plugin. I've been using it sometimes when I teach in classroom as well. I'm doing sound design. It's like a nice spectrum analyzer and oscilloscope. And it has other types of scopes, other types of visualization. So that's what that's called, Mini-Meters. It's only $10. I'd say it's kind of worth it. All right. Let's get back to the arrangement idea. So I think I'm just going to go with that, starting with the that pattern, the mono sequencer pattern. So let's turn that on, and I'm just going to hit record and see how it goes. And actually, since I'm doing it in real time, let's make a MIDI track and re-record the output, MIDI resample, let's say, of the output of the mono sequencer. So that's track 8. And we'll hit arm. And then we're going to hit record. And there it is. Maybe I'll go back and like automate the sound and make it tricky, put some granular, glitchy things just to give it some more variation. I don't know. I've lost track of which beat I'm on. All right, I started a bar too late because I was talking to you. I think I wanted to I didn't want to start with the hi-hat, so let's get rid of that. All right, I totally lost my place. Let's do that again. All right, undo. Go back to the beginning. Now I remembered to mute my hi-hat. Actually, let's just do that. That way it won't play when I hit the group play button. It'll only play the kick and snare. And again. Go back to the beginning. Do I have, how is this set for the reset? All right. It should start from the beginning every time I hit play. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to bring it in a little faster and put the snare in right away. Now let's do the kick drum. And then bass line, right? The bass could be a little louder, a little fuller. Maybe I need to work on the compression and EQ and stuff. We won't worry about that too much right now. We want to do arranging. Got to stay focused. And then I'll go back in there and start playing around with the gate and mono sequencer. Really sweet when that comes in. Turned it off again. I like this alternating between the parts, the variations. Put it on a little too fast that time. I might be able to fix it later. Right. I'm not sure if I want to. I'm going to keep going. I can always edit it if I need it to be shorter later. Maybe I'll leave it on. I'm not sure. I don't know, I'm just going to go with the flow. Some new element could be coming in here. Some trippy thing, vocal sample. All right, now I want to have... all right, I know it... I will bring the kick in. I'm going to fix that transition. And I think there it needs to be. Hi-hat back. So much power just bringing highs in and out. Trying to keep this simple too. I don't want too many layers playing at the same time. Mudrixian suggests pads. I agree, that was on my mind. And then, it's another new Mac OS thing that I keep forgetting about is sliding those notifications over. I gotta turn those off too when I'm streaming. All right, where's that melody? That's important that come in sooner, I think. Like I want the melodic interest to keep that in. Again, I do. All right, now let's see how it goes Where did it? Ah. I had a bar off. Gonna have to go back and fix that. Do you hear the problem? I mean, it's not a big problem, but it's a bar off from where it was in the beginning. But that's another thing I can go back and shift earlier. All right, let's drop the kick drum out. I'm getting lost within this 1 bar, 2 bar change. Then we want to do a part where it breaks down to just drums and bass. There could be some other crazy stuff happening. I'm just thinking about the bones of the arrangement. And then maybe it'll be easier to add some new elements. All right, we don't want to forget about this. Go to this instead. Go back to the progression. And then let's try recording another variation of this. And that's like a slightly darker version because it's got those augmented fourths and fifths in it. The other thing, just so I don't forget, what about tweaking the sound a little bit? Just subtly, like a little more intense. I don't want to go too far with it though. I'm going to have to be careful with the levels. It's really sharp, the sound. Play around with the glide. Right, the tweaking. Oh my gosh, there's so much other stuff we could do. Let's bring that back down. All right, so that's in there. It's in the arrangement, I'll remember. And then we got... Now I'm just fooling around. Just to have some stuff I can edit later. And I should probably record it doing the full whole tone thing as well. Maybe we'll use it, we'll see. It's way too loud, I think. That sounds cool. Uh-oh. Okay. All of that should be recorded. All of that MIDI. It better be. There it is. All of that. And the automation is in there. I totally forgot about arranging while I was tweaking, right? That's definitely juggling all these balls at the same time. Let's take a breath. Let's talk a little bit. How's everybody doing? Glide, C-Glass says the glide sounded killer. Thank you. Yeah, I like that when that comes in. And what I'm thinking is, when I go back and really focus in on this arrangement is finding the spots at transitions and where things are changing, where that works the best. At the end there, I was just fooling around. But yeah, that worked pretty well. Fat fan of music. Welcome. I'm seeing some more new names today. Dry Desert. I think Critique Dar. I don't remember if you were here before. To all the new viewers and people in the chat, welcome. Glad to have you here. Stick around. Come back another time. And watch Abe on Fridays if you haven't seen him before. Definitely. All right. New Drexine's asking, what am I using for the bass line? As I mentioned earlier, all of the synths at the moment that I'm using it's Viking, VK1. It's free. What a deal. What a bargain that you can get something that sounds like real close to a Moog. And it has its unique, it's a little growlier somehow than some of the other Moog plugins. But yeah, it's good. It's got cross mod, I think. That's what it is. And I like how, Critique Dar is saying you're inspired. I'm so glad. That is why one of the reasons, I just like hanging out and making music and talking to you guys, but if you get some kind of ideas or inspiration out of me just fooling around and doing what I like to do, that's a big part of it. So yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Jean-Paul Bondy is thinking of spooky ambience instead of pads. Yeah, I mentioned maybe pads before. Spooky ambience could come from weird effects or some kind of drony thing in the background. One of the kind of spooky-ish things I was thinking about doing is, you know how like it's a cliche in electro, is when Kraftwerk does like the breathing in Tour de France, right? Doing that, but not with my voice or not with an actual human, but just putting noise through formant filters to make it sound like vowels. I think that would be nice. And I was listening. Actually, let's listen to the beat a little bit. Like with the clap, like doing like instead of putting reverb on the clap, which also sounds cool. It's a little quiet there. That reverb isn't really tuned to react properly to that clap, apparently. But something like that. But instead do it with noise, but then make it sound like a person going, because of the formant filters. So that's something I had in mind. And that is a little spooky, I guess. It's a little creepy, dark. And I wanted this to be a little bit creepy and dark, but not too heavy and dark, right? Like it's just a little sinister, let's say. But, still funking and grooving, because we like that with our electro. We like funk and groove in our electro. At least I do. What else you guys talking about? Interesting observation. Dry Desert says, when a sequence is a bit rigid, it's fun to push the start of the sequence in increments of 16th notes. And yes, that is absolutely true. And, in this case, because of the way there's actually multiple steps, right? There's multiple sequences. And for it's off. That's why we're not seeing it. So like the sequence is actually 6 steps. And that sequence is then transposing up by octave, right? So it's 6, 12, 18, 24 steps. But then, and so that's sort of regular, right? But it's not, if it were doing 16 or 8, it would sound more repetitive. But I think because it's got it's 8 times 3. So there's a multiple of 3 in there, so it sounds already a little less regular. And then on top of that, the gate is doing the dotted 8th note, right? It's just doing 3 steps. So we're not, it has to cycle through multiple times before you hear it the first note again. So that's a way of doing something polymetric like that and with multiple sequences creates variation, and then it's not as static. So I think about that kind of stuff all the time. Sometimes the music calls for 8/16, like a square start and end of the phrase or the rhythm, but in this case, I want the flowy, overlapping, slightly changing vibe that the polymetric layers of pitch and rhythm are having. Okay. I'm having a brain lapse. So, let's start. Let's also think about new elements as well. And let's get back here to the main view. And I was mentioning doing that kind of formant noise effect where it has a bit of a vocal sound. I mentioned I'm not going to bother using Vital for this. I mean, I could. Should I experiment? It'll take longer. I'll be faster if I use something else. Let's keep Vital on the back burner, and then I'll just quickly use analog because it has pretty good formant filters in it. And then turn off the oscillators and turn on the noise. And then change the filter to formant. And let's see if we can't get something not modulated like that. We don't want the envelope. There we go. All right, we want a longer release on the amp. Oh, that's spooky, right? That's what I was thinking of, is like something that sounds like a robot going, oh. We just have to pick a vowel, right? Happy Halloween, everybody. A little early. And I could make it go, oh, yeah, or something like that if you modulate that. Yow. That is weird. It's trying to make it say yeah. There it is. Yeah. That is so freaky. I don't know if that's going to work with the track. It's definitely giving it a freaky atmosphere, though. I think I want to... Yeah. I think it's going to be a little bit too weird to make it go, yeah, or something like that. I'll go back and fix it, but let's pick a spot for it to happen. Yeah, it's too much. I'm gonna keep the modulation. Yeah, I mean, brighter. Try a different vowel. That was kind of cool because the resonances are in tune. Now, it may be a little bit too dark, right? So what I'm going to do is let's also run it through filter 2. And then I can have this be like a high pass or a notch or band pass or something just to give it some shine on top because I feel like it's a little too dark. I want some sizzle like a percussion sound would have. So we'll just start with the high pass and see. It might be a little much. Also, I want to make sure, all right, that's a very long release time. Let's do the same. Filter 2 is routed to amp 2, so that needs to kind of match the same envelope shape. All right, so what happened there? Didn't sound solid. Again, these envelopes in the filter section default to too much, actually. So. I could even make it stereo. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Oh, and also that's another thing to watch out for. Filter 1's running into filter 2. I want them to be separate. All right. As soon as I start doing sound design, I completely forget about the chat. It's totally an attention thing. I'm like, what? I have to focus in on the details of the sound. All right. What time is it? 1:45. We're good. This didn't take too long. While we listen to this, Critique Dart asks, am I using a limiter on my master bus right now, or a compressor? Yes, I almost always do, especially when I'm broadcasting, because I don't want the levels to go crazy while I'm live. But I do like mixing through bus compression, and sometimes I'll pick a third-party fancy something, but usually this live glue compressor, this SSL emulation, is just fine. I like the sound of it. It has character, but it's not too much. And there's a little bit of soft clipping going on, right? So it is, I am mixing with a little bit of limiting, but it's not heavy, right? It gives it a vibe, right? It gives it a bit of control and cohesiveness. Right, I gotta work on that formant thing. Maybe it is a little too bright. Let's try bandpass. Maybe it needs reverb. Not what I was thinking, but not bad. I'm gonna leave it for now. That's the general idea. I can refine this later. The other thing we're thinking about is if I want to add another melody, maybe a pad or something. Let's listen to. All right, we know what the mono sequence thing is doing. I like the slightly more positive vibe that adding those other higher notes in gives it. All right, I'm imagining in my head if I did like a sustained melody, and like how melodic do I want to get? So let's think about. All right, not going to use Vital. Actually, no. I loaded it up. I'm going to use it. We're kind of running out of time for like real detailed sound design, maybe. But I don't know. Let's check out some presets and see what we can come up with. So maybe something like pad. And I don't know. These are I don't have the paid version of Vital, so there aren't a lot of presets. But it's a start. Maybe we'll get some ideas, and then we'll know what to do or not to do. All right. Too heavy, right? I mean, maybe not. Kind of dark and weird. That would work. But let's not just pick the first thing. All right, nope. Some interesting modulating stuff going on. I like something kind of dark like that. It takes a really long time to fade in. I don't know if I like the bright, buzzy, sharp part. I could always remove that. Definitely darker and more mysterious now with that. If you hold that long enough until it gets crazy. So this sound like this sort of rides the line between something that you're playing a melody with and something that's just sort of weird in the background. All right, that's a maybe something like that. But again, usually when I go through presets, I'm always thinking about like how I'm going to change them. Actually, let's do that, because let's take a look at what this preset is doing. Because it's got this really long amp envelope, right? I think it's envelope 1 that's doing that. And there's an envelope time, and that's making it even longer. What? Okay, that's the amp envelope. Let's see what happens if I bring that attack time down. There's something else doing. Is it one of the LFOs? Now that's getting up a little faster. All right, we've got. You can hear some of the variation in that sound of the wavetables modulating. I want to figure out what's doing the buzzy thing. It's that. All right, so that can just, if I don't like the buzzy bright thing, I can just turn that oscillator off. These are all our LFOs. There's a lot of LFO modulation. So I think some of that bright craziness is not envelope, it's... Oh, here it is. There we go. And there's a delay on it as well, so it's starting. Right, so what I wanted it to get a little brighter sooner. And I think it is now. I'm playing octaves and just improvising a melody right now. Now it's definitely bringing the energy down. Have to be careful. So if I do that, put a part in there with that, it's not going to be the main, it's going to be like a break in the middle and then it goes back. If I leave it playing too long, it just brings it's already on the borderline of chill, right? I don't want to go too far for the whole track, right? Okay, I don't mind. I mean, that's only the third preset I loaded up, right? It's close enough, and sometimes it's fine to just go with what grabs you right away and then move on. So I think I will actually kind of keep that at least as an idea for this sketch that I can develop. And, you know, if I end up customizing it more or making more of my own sound along those lines, at least I've got my idea down. And, you know, that's all the stuff I just captured, right? So let's see. All right, that one should start here. I'm not sure about this part. It's okay. But I like the da-da-da part. That maybe is what's throwing it off. Like that would, going up to the C would probably work better. But when it does those shorter notes there, that's where the envelope is too long, right? That's something I'll think about with when I'm playing these long sustained notes, is automating the envelope time so that, you know, and this is what you would do with like with like orchestral samples and stuff, is change the articulation when you need a faster note, right? You need a faster movement in the note. So maybe right there. Let's see. What value is that? All right, so it's a little sudden, but you see what I'm doing, right? So And it needs to be, the modulation needs to happen before the note, I think. Yeah, before the note on, because it's triggering the envelope. So it's got to happen like there. It's subtle, but it's like, this is like the things that it's the difference between like more pro and less pro, is to do stuff like this. It's a little funny with, I have to get the timing of the notes right too. But you hear what I'm trying to get, right? I want it to be brighter, faster. Like you hear it more. Okay. Not awful, right? We're kind of doing something interesting here. And this still was just my first idea. It wasn't like I spent hours trying to make the perfect melodic sequence. Who knows if I'll like it next week. We'll see. Critique Dar is looking out for my my copyright. Absolutely. I mean, everything I make, like once it's done and recorded, I submit it to BMI for registration, for performance royalties, and I submit it to my music publisher, my publishing administration, so that they can start collecting anything that comes in. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Do I still like the formant noise? Let's see. It needs some tweaking, but I still like the idea of it. Okay. I don't think I need too much more. I mean, I need to develop that melody a little bit, maybe do some variations for that. Let's hear that hi-hat. And then, let's see if this works with the pad. That's important. Nope. Doesn't. I have to play a different melody to fit with this. So now, they don't have to fit perfectly. I like it when parts are related enough that you could mix and match them and they'll always work, but they don't have to play together in the arrangement at the same time. So, but what I'm thinking is that's the first idea for a variation on that pad part, is to make make one that fits better with this. Okay. I mean, I can either try and let's duplicate it, and I can either try to modify this existing one, or I can try to play another thing entirely. So I'm going to do the opposite. Instead of going down, I'm going to go up. No, it's okay. I forgot that it's this part with the transposition and the bass that has to fit with. Going down. All right, then this is another thing. I kind of hear it in my head, maybe. Either it goes back down to where it started, or it goes up. Like that, if it were to go back where it started. I don't mind that. It's a little more dramatic now. I'm getting kind of into the cinematic territory here, aren't I? Okay. Let's hear this in full. Oh, I like that. Okay. That was satisfying. I like where this is going. Yeah, it is. It's making it more chill. It's making it more kind of spacey, cinematic. Fine. I don't have to be dance floor banging all the time, right? But it still has it's got the underlying funk, which is always has to be there for me. Right. I think I won't jump into, let's do this another day. Also, I want to use this to start a track, but I mean, I'll just tease you with it if you haven't seen it yet, that it's got this library of AI models of different types of sounds, and it will randomly generate sounds based on these models. So, you know, if you want to do like, if I can figure out what note is what, there we go. Got to be in the right octave. So if I say, oh, I want to have some kick drums. So, and it generates them in real time. Okay, so there's a kick. Now I want Tom's vintage shots. I don't know, what's a shot? Percussion, claps. Let's do a clap. All right. Oop, wrong one. And again, these aren't samples. They sound like samples, but they're like, it's kind of like AI image generation. It's generating sounds based on samples that were analyzed, like data sets. And it has kind of a lo-fi vibe to it. It's crunchy, it's dirty. This is going to be fun. So just a little teaser there. I will use this on an upcoming stream to like start a track with, because I think I've already got what I want for this track. And then finally, just thinking, one of the things I wanted to try with Vital is, let's load up another one, that it has this, for electro, this is amazing, but it, you know, for vocals, it has a text-to-speech wavetable generator. So you can literally type in whatever words you want, and it's like a vocoder. And then you can modulate the wavetable position and scan forward and backward through the sample, and that just seems like ridiculous to me. So I'm curious to know. Throw out some like some words for me to type into the chat to do text to wavetable, and try not to be too electro cliche with your ideas, or, you know, also be appropriate. But yeah, let's throw in another Vital and go to the text to wavetable template. And that's going to be
text to wavetable, text to wavetable, text to wavetable, text to wavetable.
Right, so what's happening here, this preset template is
text to wavetable.
That LFO is modulating the wavetable position, and it's scanning through, right? So if I
text to wavetable, text to wavetable,
right, so that's kind of controlling where it is. I mean, if I get rid of that now,
text to wavetable,
right now there's no modulation. Right, so I'm able to just have straight waveforms coming out of that. But if you move through it at the right rate, it's like time stretching, or you can speed up or slow down scanning through. If I right click on that, we can type some words in. Let's see. I know some of you have to go. I'm going a little bit longer today. Aren't you lucky? Pumpkin spice, sinusoid. Let's try sinusoid. I mean, that's pretty electro generic, but it sounds good. So let's do sinusoid.
Now sinusoid.
Now it doesn't. It's sinusoid.
Sinusoid. Sinus.
All right, let's try to get this.
Sinusoid. Sinusoid. Sinusoid.
All right, and then because the LFO, it's tempo mapped, right? It's synced, so that the envelope is taking 1 bar, I think, to scan through. So it will keep the timing of it within a bar. Let's hear what that sounds like. Cool. I mean, who needs a vocoder? What happens if we do some other kind of crazy modulation to this? Like this one's just going back and forth on half. Let's make it faster. And here's where my there it goes. It's gonna be weird. All right. What? So that they're fighting each other. Let's play with this. I wonder. I want to do maybe like a free running LFO that's not only being. It's not tied. Like I'm trying to figure out how to do it so like we hear different parts of the sample. Gosh, my brain is starting to go because my body knows it's time to go have lunch or something. All right, listen. Maybe let's go find a sine wave. That might be better. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. All right, that's something. Let's see if the stereo work. Oh, nice. So it's going forward and backwards now. Right, and that could even be controlling the vocode. It's pretty simple, but easily really cool, right? All right, I could just go on fooling around with this for hours. I should stop. Mission accomplished. I got through all the stuff I wanted to do somehow, right? What did we do? Let's review. We did a little bit on arranging, right? I just doing a little real time, working on the structure of this, getting some ideas. Playing, I think the biggest thing out of that for me was the figuring out how to make variations here with the melody coming out of the mono sequencer over time and capturing those, right? And those I'm going to go back and edit and figure out exactly where I want them to be. And then while I was doing that, I was thinking about new sounds to make. I did that sort of formanty vocal thing, right? Which, needs some work, but it's there. And then we played around with Vital, just using presets, just checking out the latest update. There's some stuff in there. I didn't actually use any of the new elements of the Vital update, but just it was a reminder for me that I have this amazing plugin and I should probably use it. We got some idea for a pad there, and then we just ended with text to wavetable and having a little fun doing some robot voice. So that's it, everybody. Thanks very much for hanging out with me today. And everybody in the chat, everybody asking questions, all of you who are regulars, and then, welcome to the new guys. Hope to see you back here again. That's all for now. See you next week. Adios.